Good Friday is a day like no other in the Christian calendar. It's a day marked by sorrow, but also by hope. For centuries, believers have gathered in silence, reflection, and prayer to remember the day Jesus died. Many say Good Friday is the most somber, yet deeply moving, day of the year. Emotions run deep on this day. Some feel sadness for the suffering of Jesus. Others feel gratitude for his sacrifice. Many Christians see Good Friday as a day to pause, reflect, and seek forgiveness. It's not just a story from long ago, it's a living memory, felt in hearts around the world every year. This day is important for more than just believers. Good Friday has shaped art, music, and even laws in many countries. Its echoes are found in churches, in public life, and in the quiet moments of personal reflection. To understand Good Friday is to understand a key part of Western history and faith. Today, we will go deep into the story behind Good Friday. We'll explore its history, its rituals, and its meaning. We'll see why, even after 2,000 years, Good Friday still touches millions of lives. Good Friday falls near the end of Holy Week, the most important week for Christians. Holy Week begins with Palm Sunday and ends with Easter Sunday. Each day remembers a key event in the last week of Jesus' life. Good Friday is the day Christians remember the crucifixion of Jesus. It's the day he was nailed to the cross and died. This event is at the heart of the Christian story. It's seen as the moment Jesus gave his life out of love for all people. In the big picture, Good Friday is the turning point. On Palm Sunday, Jesus was welcomed by crowds. On Good Friday, he was betrayed, tried, and executed. 2 days later, on Easter, Christians believe Jesus rose from the dead. Good Friday and Easter are forever linked. For Christians, Good Friday is not just about death. It's about the depth of Jesus' love and the promise that suffering can lead to hope. Even the darkest day is followed by light. Holy Week invites Christians to walk with Jesus, day by day. Each day has its own meaning, but Good Friday stands out as a day of sacrifice and deep reflection. To understand Good Friday, we must step back to first century Jerusalem. It was a city full of life, faith, and tension. Jerusalem was the center of Jewish worship, home to the great temple. Pilgrims from all over gathered here for the Passover festival. But Jerusalem was not free. It was under Roman rule. Roman soldiers patrolled the streets. The local leaders had to answer to Rome. Taxes were high, and many people were poor. There was unrest and hope for a better future. Jesus became known as a teacher and healer. Many followed him, hoping he was the promised Savior. The crowds loved his message of mercy and justice, but the authorities, both Roman and Jewish, saw him as a threat to peace and order. As Passover approached, Jerusalem swelled with visitors. Tension grew. The stage was set for the most important events in Christian history. The world watched as Jesus entered the city, knowing trouble might follow. Good Friday is only part of the story. The days before it were full of drama and meaning. It began on Palm Sunday. On that day, Jesus entered Jerusalem riding a donkey. Crowds cheered, waving palm branches to greet him as a king. After this, Jesus shared a special meal with his closest followers. This meal, called the Last Supper, happened on Thursday. During the meal, Jesus broke bread and shared wine, telling his friends to do this to remember him. He also spoke of betrayal and coming sorrow. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas Iscariot, betrayed him. Jesus was arrested in a garden where he had gone to pray. The soldiers took him to the city, where he faced a series of trials by the Jewish leaders and then by the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Despite finding no real crime, Pilate allowed the crowds to decide. They called for Jesus to be crucified. The journey to Good Friday was filled with hope, fear, and heartbreak. Every step brought Jesus closer to the cross. On Friday morning, Jesus was led out to be crucified. Roman soldiers mocked him, placed a crown of thorns on his head, and made him carry his cross through the streets. The crowds watched as he stumbled under the weight. They took Jesus to Golgotha, a hill outside the city. There, the soldiers nailed him to a wooden cross. 2 others, both criminals, were crucified beside him. The sky grew dark. The pain was immense, but Jesus did not fight back. Many people watched. His mother, some close friends, and even those who had called for his death. The Roman soldiers divided his clothes. Some people mocked him, while others wept. The scene was one of both cruelty and deep love. For Christians, the crucifixion is the ultimate act of sacrifice. Jesus gave his life, they believe, so that others might find forgiveness and hope. It is a story of suffering, but also of a love that endures. As Jesus hung on the cross, the Gospels tell us he spoke 7 times. These are called the 7 last words. Each one has special meaning for Christians. First, Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." He forgave those who hurt him. Second, to a criminal dying beside him he promised, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Third, he cared for his mother, telling her and a friend to look after each other. Fourth, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This showed his deep pain and feeling of being alone. Fifth, he said simply, "I thirst," showing his suffering. Sixth, Jesus declared, "It is finished." His mission was complete. Finally he said, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." With these last words, Jesus showed trust in God, even in death. Each of these sayings is remembered in churches on Good Friday as signs of his humanity and his love. After several hours on the cross, Jesus died. The Gospel writers say the earth shook and the sky grew dark. His followers, watched in grief and fear. For them, it really seemed like the end of all hope. A man named Joseph of Arimathea asked for Jesus' body. With care and respect, he and others wrapped Jesus in linen and placed him in a tomb. A heavy stone was rolled across the entrance. Roman guards were posted to keep watch. For early Christians, this moment had huge meaning. Jesus' death was seen as a sacrifice for the sins of the world. His burial showed his complete humanity. He faced everything that any person could fear: pain, betrayal, and even death itself. Yet, the story did not end here. Christians believe that Jesus' burial was only the beginning. The tomb would soon be empty, and hope would rise again on Easter morning. Many people wonder why a day of suffering and death is called Good Friday. The answer is not simple, but it is full of meaning. Some say the word good comes from an old meaning, holy or pious. In many languages, it is called Holy Friday. Others say it is good because of what Jesus' death achieved. For Christians, his sacrifice brought forgiveness and a new way of life. The pain of Good Friday is followed by the joy of Easter. Suffering leads to hope. Some traditions believe the name reminds us that, even in the darkest moments, good can come. Good Friday teaches that love and sacrifice are stronger than hate and death. It is a day of sorrow, but also of amazing grace. So, Good Friday is good, not because of the suffering, but because of the love and hope it brings. It is a lesson that even the hardest days can lead to new life. In the earliest days, Christians gathered quietly on Good Friday. They fasted and prayed. They read the story of Jesus' death and remembered his sacrifice. Medieval churches held long, solemn services. Many people walked the stations of the cross, remembering each step of Jesus' journey. Today, Good Friday is marked in many different ways. Catholics hold special services with readings and silent prayer. Protestant churches often focus on the words from the cross. Orthodox Christians follow ancient traditions, including processions and hymns. Around the world, Good Friday is a public holiday in many places, such as the Philippines, the United Kingdom, Germany, and parts of Africa and the Caribbean. In some countries, people reenact the crucifixion or walk through the streets carrying crosses. In others, people spend the day in silence or giving to the poor. No matter where or how it is observed, Good Friday remains a day of deep meaning. It connects believers across time and space. It reminds all people that sacrifice, love, and hope can change the world. Good Friday is more than just a date on the calendar. It is a story of pain, but also of love and faith. For Christians, it is a day to remember the cost of forgiveness and the depth of God's love. Historians see Good Friday as a turning point, shaping civilizations, culture, and laws. For society, it is a reminder that even in darkness, there is always a promise of new light. Good Friday leads to Easter, the day of hope and new beginnings. Each year, as Good Friday returns, it calls people to reflect, to care, and to hope. The old story is still alive, still powerful, and still changing lives. Even those who are not Christians can find meaning in its message of sacrifice and hope. As we move from Good Friday to Easter, we remember that the story does not end in sorrow. It leads to joy. It gives hope that love is stronger than death and that new life is always possible.